All
Sounds good.
right. Hey, let's talk about race ZRL, race 3 R.G.V. Jake,
Yeah,
this
so
week.
we've got R.G.V this week, which a lot of you already know, quite familiar with. So it is 24.1 kilometers long. It's pretty much pan flat, other than our old friend, the Aqueduct KOM, which, despite its name, is not really a KOM, let's be honest, because the first half of it is very, very draftable,
Yeah.
and the second half of it's flat. And it's only 40 seconds long, really, isn't it? So if you're sprinting all out, it's 26, 27 seconds. So if you're doing it in a TTT, it's 35, 40 seconds. I
Yeah,
think
Dirt actually classify it as a sprint when the Dirt
it
Racing
is.
series. They just say,
They
"Oh,
do.
it's a sprint," which
Yeah,
is
but
far. It's
yeah,
stupid having it in the KOM competition, isn't it?
we use it as a sprint for the sprint series. So when we use this course for the sprint series and use the 3 sprints and the aqueduct as your 4 sprint segments for the duration. So it's really, really draftable. So this one's going to be just about making sure that you keep nice and tight. The usual TTT rules apply and are going to be really, really important. Keep it nice and tight. Make sure you're using your stronger riders. You've only got 6 in your team, so you know that makes it much more difficult than your usual Thursday night TTT. So don't go too hard. Probably aim for a sort of negative split where you're going harder the second half of it, and power up that aqueduct. That's where a lot of teams are going to maybe lose a little bit of time if they're a bit too cautious of it. Save your weaker riders pulling before the aqueduct and all use sort of your pull energy to get up the aqueduct as fast as you can together. You get a little bit of recovery on the other side of it. You then roll into the final sort of third of the course where you've got those rollery little bits at the end. So it's going to be really important. That technically is probably the hardest part of the whole course. So it's going to be really, really important to not let any gaps open up there. Have your stronger riders pull in on the front and also sat sort of second and third wheel, and keep it as tight as you can rolling into the finish. So yeah, pretty easy as far as TTTs go, but still the potential to mess it up if you're not disciplined and you don't know what you're doing.
What do
Yep.
you think to like if you're going into the towards the rollers at the end, uh, like using a couple of hero pulls there just to keep 4 together because it's kind of simpler and you may as well, maybe like your weaker guys just say, okay, do what you can in the last couple of Ks before the rollers, and then we'll drop you at the rollers.
Yeah, I don't think it's an unreasonable thing. The only thing that you want to be aware of is obviously if you drop down to 4, it's always a little bit risky if you get
Mm,
any technical issues, anybody has any dropouts or anything like
yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
also the final K or so is pretty downhill. So you also wouldn't mind having a few riders there to sort of get a big mass and carry the speed differential downwards. But I think of all the courses to sort of drop people in ZRL TTTs in the final few Ks, this is probably one of the better ones. Especially if you've
Yeah.
got a couple of people who are already on the limit, like Rob says, maybe make the most of them and see if you can get a bit faster to the finish.